5 fascinating facts about the Apple stock. Now this, with time, becomes one of my favorite episodes here on this vlog, on this channel, and let's dive right into it. Very first fact of Apple stock is actually the year-to-date performance, which I love to look into stocks. When I look into stocks, this is the first what I do. I compare their performance, which they did already in the year, compared to the market to see, hey, do they outperform the market? Do they underperform the market? And let me tell you, this will be super exciting. So let's look what the market did. The S&P 500 did about 30% this year, which is already pretty good because seen on history, the S&P on average making like 10%. So this is like really good, a very good year. Now, but if we are looking into the Apple stock, you can see they made 97% gain just this year, which is absolutely insane. And there is a couple of reasons of this, okay? First of all, you have to understand that Apple just keep on selling and growing and innovating. Even when people say the products don't get innovated, look at how the company changed from a computer company to a music company to a phone company, now to a service company, and this is working very, very well, and the products are amazing. They are coming out with new things like the Apple Plus, the Apple Card, and all these new things, wearables and health and music, and you know, there's so many amazing products, and all of them have a huge quality, and the premium price is well deserved, and also the profit that comes with them. If you making the best product, you deserve a better buck for your product, obviously. And a big other push for the stock is obviously also they investing a lot in buybacks of their own stocks, which push the stock also. And last but not least, what is very important fact, that the S&P actually is a composition index of 500 very good companies of the US stock market, and Apple represents about 3% of this index. This means if Apple goes up, this helps the index, and other way around. The next fact is also very important. If you're looking into this company, this is a company that was built and innovated by a visionary Steve Jobs. Now, unfortunately, on the 5th of October 2011, way too early, Steve Jobs died. And many investors ask, what will happen with the stock? What will happen with the company? Do they can still bring all these great products out there? And let's look into the stock, what happened actually after Steve Jobs died. When you can see the stock was around in October 2011 at $57, and then happened something very fascinating for me at least, that the stock within a couple of months, already in March, April, May of the next year 2012, gained already a dozens of percentage, and to be precise, more than 50%. Now this happens because Steve Jobs did something very, very smart. He installed very early Tim Cook as first the COO, but then also as the CEO to continue to run the business. And when Steve Jobs was a great visionary to show where the company can go, Tim Cook built for years the operation about it. Now, if you want to know more about this, I can just recommend you this book. This is so great if you want to learn about how the Apple products really got into this specific niche and how they can build all this beautiful thing about Apple. This book is a must. It's fantastic. So make sure to go online, order it, and just read it. It will take you a couple of hours because it's very, very thick. However, it's really worth to look into that. But you can see when a visionary install a very good team after him, then you don't have to worry that much. Now, another thing is we are just closing the next decade. Now, 2010 to 2020 is exactly a decade, 10 years, and 10 years of huge growth for Apple. And I hate to do this because same as you, I'm thinking, wow, what would happen if I just invested 10 years ago into Apple? I was a shareholder for Apple for quite quite a time when the iPhone got out, like iPhone 3 or 4. I was very, very young, and this was my very first stock, and I saw how the Apple product, the iPhone product, was so interesting and growing market share, and it was just before Christmas, and I thought like this iPhones are the perfect Christmas gift for so many people, and that's why I bought into it and make a huge profit, and then I sold it, and then here and there I sometimes invested into it, but not really on the long term, which, you know, of course you can say, hey, this was a great opportunity, but in the end you also have every single day stock market opportunities every single day. So make sure to stay tuned, because I'm vlogging every single day, and if you've like it so far, leave a thumb up and maybe subscribe. On the other hand, let's look how much the Apple stock gained the last decade, and it's quite interesting. So about 10 years ago, the stock was at $25, and today it's $280. So it's a whooping 891% gain, and this means if you invested $10,000, then you would have, let me calculate, around $112,000, which is ridiculous, and you would 10 times your money, which is so beautiful. And you know, you could be a millionaire by just investing into Apple and investing, you know, part of your salary. This is also what I recommend if you have a stock portfolio. Just put the money on side and put it in your stock portfolio. It will grow with time, especially if you do something like a low-cost S&P ETF. It's something very interesting. If you want to know more about this, make sure to leave a comment so I can make a vlog about that. Now let's dive into the next fact, number 4. Now this is a funny fact, because this was so long awaited, because the big companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Google, all these companies grow with the valuation with time over the last couple of decades, and it was always the question, who of them will be the very first $1 trillion company, and it became in August 2018 Apple with $1 trillion valuation, and after that, and on today's terms, it's almost like normal, because the milestone got hit, and then stocks went down, stocks went up, Microsoft hit the number, Amazon hit the number, I think Google hit the number as well, so it was nothing special anymore. And at this point of time, Apple is at $1 trillion and a quarter market valuation, which is so beautiful for the success, just considering this was just a couple of decades started in a garage, and this just shows you that you can do it, everybody can do it out there if they just have the vision, if they work hard, if they have the right sense for the trends, like Steve Jobs did with music, with internet, with computers. He know what you want tomorrow, and this is so important for a company, and there's not much visionaries out there like him. I believe there's just a handful, and for example, I think Elon Musk is one of them. So if you're watching my vlogs, you know that I'm a Tesla investor, and I think that Tesla will have the chance to join the $1 trillion company club very, very soon. And the $1 trillion company valuation was just recently even beaten by Saudi Aramco, which just crossed $2 trillion valuation, which was just ridiculous. So let's jump to number 5. So we can agree that Warren Buffett is the biggest and most successful investor of our lifetime. He is the Oracle of Omaha, and while I think the S&P returned like 48 your money over the last 40 years, this guy returned like 4,000 times his money on the stock market, with stocks, with investments into companies like Coca-Cola and so on. So if he chooses a company to invest in, then actually you know, and he knows that this is a good investment. It's a value investing, it's a worth of money, it's a worth of your time, And this actually was long time not the case, even though Steve Jobs like on regular basis contacted Warren Buffett, and Apple made so much cash, and he said, hey Warren, what should I do with all the cash? I mean, I can put something in research and development, but obviously I want to have also a stable company. And he always recommended to buy back stocks, and this also, we coming to the point just in a second. While Warren Buffett in 2012 said, you know, I'm very funny, I didn't invest it, like you can see in this video.
Shares, correct?
No, I've never bought Apple.
But
I wish I had.
And actually, you see that in 2016 he finally invested into this company, and since then he is owning ridiculously $40 billion worth of Apple stock, and this represents about 3% of the company right now at this recording. And obviously also the buyback, the company buyback stocks, just the last quarter they bought back stocks in worth of $18 billion, and just in 2018 Apple bought back stocks valued by $100 billion. This is ridiculous, and this is also one big factor that will keep Apple stock on rising. So if you're looking for a stable investment, if you're investment for the future, if you want an investment that pays you dividend, I think this is something that you can put into your portfolio. You can give it to your kids. You can put, you know, a good amount of your portfolio inside the stock. This will be a company of the future. If you like this video so far, make sure to subscribe. I see you tomorrow because I'm vlogging every single day. And thank you very much for watching, guys. See you tomorrow.